game that we're in is essentially performance marketing. We need to show results, we need to perform. And then, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But when it does work and you establish really good relationships with people, and that's what it kind of is about. It's about a relationship. Welcome back, everybody, to a new series of the PPC Cave with me, Ryan Fenton, and my co-host, Gene. Say hi, Gene.
What's up, everyone?
And it's been a while. It's been a few weeks since we last recorded. I think we ended on a really high note. I really enjoyed the last episode. And if you guys haven't watched it, go back and watch the most commonly asked questions that we get for Google Ads. Really great episode. I think it was one of the best episodes we actually ever recorded. But we're back. We're here now with a brand new series, how to get started as a Google Ads freelancer or an agency. The last few series that we've recorded have been more geared towards business owners or, people who are just starting out with Google Ads. They need to kind of find their feet in what they need to do in order to, get started with Google Ads, how to optimize the campaigns, the best practices, and what to optimize to see the best results possible. So we've kind of covered that topic now, I think. And, we may in the future go back to that series and add a few more things into it. But for now, it's done and dusted, and we've moved on. And we want to give a little bit of love to our fellow freelancers and agencies out there. And this series is all about how to get started as a Google Ads freelancer or agency. Gene, take it away.
Yeah, so before I take it away, I want to give a shout out. And Ryan kind of brought this to my attention. As you know, Ryan does all the social media. So he saw something come through one of our TikToks last, and it's from Andrew Argyle 167 saying that it's deprecating cookies, not depreciation of cookies. And that is my fault. I misspoke there. Deprecating versus depreciation. I was under the thought that they're depreciating the weight of cookies, but it's actually deprecating, which in a sense kinda means the same thing, but not really. It's two different words. So thank you, Andrew Argyle, for correcting me. And here at the PPC Cave, we learn just like y'all. And I learned something new with vocabulary, and I will continue to use the word deprecating from now on. So yeah, getting into it with clients, I think the biggest thing, especially if you're looking for Google Ads clients, is the nature of Google Ads is online. So you have to go where the attention's at, where your potential clients perhaps are hanging out, and that's online. So I think first and foremost is understanding the goal of creating an online reputation that could be on social media or LinkedIn or even your own website. But I think it's just really important before you do any of those things where you create a real reputation for, being a contributor in the Google Ads space, is understanding that you have to kind of run campaigns first, right? There's a lot of people out there that want to just sell something without doing it. And these are the gurus of the world selling courses and all these things. And maybe they have an adjacent experience or supplemental experience, but not direct experience. I think it's super important to either run your own campaign or work in-house or at an agency before and get the experience. So you're providing value that comes from a place of sincerity and being authentic and actually knowing what you're talking about. And doing that first, you'll be able to get clients in the future and be confident in what you have to do to make those campaigns successful through optimization. One of the biggest things that I had to do in the beginning was do things for free. And, doing things for free isn't the glamorous way, because that's not the end result that we want when we go into client work. We want to envision us in some, corner office with glass windows, and we're taking calls and sending invoices, and money comes in, and all the glamour to the client consultation, consult, PPC manager experience. But the early on stages, it's never like that. You have to start from the ground up, and giving out free consultations or audits, or even lowering your price, or providing elevated offerings with Google Ads management slash maybe product page SEO or slash social media management, just so that you can get your foot in the door and get a client that's happy with your work, that can maybe review you and perhaps give you a referral. I think that's super, super crucial. Do you have any experience in that regard, Ryan? Or what do you think about, making sure that you provide a cost friendly, if not even perhaps free, a way to provide value as you try to attain Google Ads clients?
Yeah, I think I like so far I like what you're saying. I like the fact that you're saying go in-house first, work for a company, do their marketing, or work agency side, for a while and to pick up that experience. Where kind of like the pressure's off. If you envisage going freelance, then, maybe spend a year or two, maybe three, in-house agency side both before making that jump. Or if you're an agency already and you're just here listening, how do we get more clients on the books? Then, keep listening, because I think we're gonna really give you some good tips on what to do and where to look for them. But yeah, I think, for me, starting out, if I was starting out as a freelancer, I'd probably, try and do it alongside my job, which might be okay, might not be okay. You might have to check with your employer, your boss, they might be cool with it. Some people are, some people aren't. I think as long as there's not like what do you call it? Like a threat to the company you work for or the agency that you work for, then you should be fine. If you've got one or two clients on the side, you know, even if it's like a friend or a neighbor or whoever, family, maybe not a family member, because obviously if you have some really bad months and the family member's going to be like, well, what the hell, you should be doing better, you know, maybe keep them at an arm's length. So, maybe friends or, a friend of like your dad or your mom or whatever it might be, or a neighbor or just someone, like an acquaintance, I guess, then that's probably a good way to start. And yeah, definitely doing it for free because everybody likes something for free at the end of the day. And obviously, with the game that we're in, it's never 100% free because the person, the business owner, is going to have to pay Google Ads money in the form of the advertising budget. So whilst they don't have to pay for your services, they still have to pay for the advertising budget. But if you can make it as lucrative as possible at the early stages and say, yeah, happy to work for free, let's do 6 months or 3 months, and I'll work for free. In the end of it, if we see some really good results, could you give me a review? And maybe we could start at say, £300 or $300 a month. And then all of a sudden, you've got your first client. You've worked on that client for 3 months, maybe 6 months at this point. You can agree that, okay, well, let's do £300 a month and you're straight away getting paid for your first client. And it's a good feeling. So that is a good way to get started, I think. Yeah, would you do? Is that how you started, Gene? Would you do it again if you were starting out as a freelancer today, for example? Would you do that kind of method of working for free or?
Yeah. So, I'll give you all the exact blueprint. I'll give you the exact blueprint. So, uh, even to this day, I am not full time with handling clients, even though I have a good amount of clients on the side. I work full time for an e-commerce company where I handle the website and everything, and the Google Ads, everything, marketing and advertising, and just in general. And they're totally fine with me having this, and they know that I have a side business. And I think that is one of the first areas where you could start is get that experience in-house or at an agency, and then be able to parlay it through doing free either consultations. Or what I did was, before I even had Google Ads, I didn't even think that I would do freelancing for Google Ads. I thought I was going to do freelancing for social media, because if you remember, in early 2020 to mid 2015, or sorry, like 2010 to like 2015, 2016, the big thing that was being pushed was social media. And there was such a huge influx of companies, organizations needing social media managers. And that was kind of the beginning of it. I had a website called rootsocialmedia.com. And with rootsocialmedia.com, I did outbound just outreach for small companies. I only had a couple, maybe only like two or three uh, clients back then, but I basically just worked either for free or for a very, very low price. And I remember even when I graduated, around that time, I was talking to clients that were friends. I had friends that were becoming real estate agents, and I couldn't sell them on Google Ads yet, as Ryan said, because that does cost money. But I could sell them on a one-time fee for me to create their logo, create their website on Wix or Squarespace, wherever it may be. And the natural progression to that, after creating the website, the logo, is, okay, how do I get traffic to this? And that's where I would come in. It would be like, okay, well, now that we've created your website, done your SEO, got you doing social media, now it's time to layer on that PPC component, which is probably the most lucrative also. So yeah, I would probably do it the same way that I did in the past. But if I told you when I started that I was going to be doing just Google Ads freelancing, it wouldn't have made sense to me. But the fact that I did everything else leading up to it does kind of make sense now. So yeah, I would definitely go that same route. And kind of on the same vein is understanding that if you do get either these discounted clients or free clients, what you're trying to attain first step is not profitability. When you're early on trying to get more clients for Google Ads, it's getting reviews or testimonials and building credibility and trust. I think that is the very first step, and everything will come after you've established that. It's like creating any foundation. You have to get this right first before you can layer on any financial gain from this. So if you're able to either excel in showing your reputation through, certification, or even a testimonial or referral, if it be free or a discounted price, I think you're that much more leveraged moving forward to be able to charge what you want to, and be able to pick and choose which clients you think is a good fit for what your niche is, or how your consultation or management style is. But I think that is the very, very first thing, is being able to get a review on any of the websites that you could post your package on, or get some type of testimonial from someone that you've worked with previously. But yeah, and once you have that, make sure that you have an Instagram or Twitter. For me, I still have an Instagram that I've had for a really long time, and I post all my reviews on there and whatever it may be, just to have a repository of old portfolios, or small little stories that you've accumulated throughout the years in your client journey, client PPC management journey. So I think that's really important to have that. And I also say, get connected with respected leaders within your niche. This doesn't only extend to just Google Ads, but for this specific episode's sake, get connected with people within the same niche as you. And if that's Google Ads, repost or retweet or show love or comment or like these other people that could be industry leaders. Maybe like us, like our stuff or share it. But not only does that build confidence with your audience that you're trying to spawn and cultivate, but it also puts you on a radar of maybe someone that is a thought leader or industry leader. Maybe they have an extra client, and they see that you're out there, reposting, and they're looking on your stuff too, and it shows that you have experience, and maybe you can somehow get a client through there also, so um I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding the reviews and the testimonials is first and foremost. However, which way you can attain that, I would say, is through a volume effort. The more seeds that you plant with, reaching out or asking or creating value on your specific social media, you're building the leverage to be in your favor, because outbound reach, emails that are cold, that's very difficult uphill, you know, uh, journey to climb, as opposed to having it all on your social media or your website. I think that kind of gives you a little bit of leverage there. Any thoughts on that point, Ryan, before I move on?
Yeah, I really like that. I think one thing that I would add to that actually is also share results. You know, people want to see what it could look like for them, you know. So you might get a review, you might get a testimonial. That's great, but if you can say and show in a screenshot like this is the last 3 months, or this is the last 30 days, or the last 6 months, or whatever it might be, a certain time period, excuse me, from certain time period from Google Ads saying, okay, this is what we spent. This was the result, whether it's conversions, whether it's sales, whether it's a ROAS, whether it's a cost per conversion. You know, these are how many like leads or conversions we got, of course, and what the return is, you know, and things like that. If you can show that and show growth as well in a screenshot, that is equally, in my opinion, as important as a review or a testimonial. Again, people want to kind of have that picture painted for them. They want to see what it can look like for them. So it's great saying, you know, Gene was absolutely amazing. It was great to work with him. I'd highly recommend him. That's cool. Great. That sounds great. But what did he do? What can I see? What is almost like a case study? Like where were the business before they met Gene? And then what was the results and the impact Gene had after he worked with them for 3 months? So I think if you can convey that, whether that's on social media, whether that's on a website, whether that's wherever it might be, you know, I think that has a lot of weight as well. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. And that's why it's so important, like me and Ryan discussed earlier, you have to have experience in this. You can't show any new client or anyone anything if you don't have experience either in-house or at an agency, or, even doing your own Google Ads. Of course, just be mindful of privacy and whatnot. But I've done it. I'm guilty of it, where it's just a little box. I don't show any of the names, but it just shows, cost per conversion, or ROAS and cost and whatever it may be, and that's good enough. If you could see upside there and just show that screenshot of results, I think that, in my opinion, is, like Ryan said, as good as a testimonial or review. And then hopefully moving forward, that'll be something that gets you more clients in the door. But definitely do these things. And the free things that you could do also, if you really are serious about getting clients for Google Ads, is at least be Google Ads certified. You might not be able to hit partner yet, just because the stipulations of 10,000 spend or whatever it may be, but at least get certified. And I know Google Ads certification isn't that important in regards to if you're a good optimizer of a specific account, but for anyone that is on the outside looking in, that means the world. To the people that actually are on Google Ads, we know how small and how we don't really, that doesn't really matter. What matters is results. But to someone that's brand new, they want to make sure they have basically a warranty, or that you're certified to work on their car, or you have a specific degree. So anytime, it's you against other competitors, it's not self promotion. It's not being braggadocious. It's literally showing all the capabilities and certificates that you have in order to attain a client. A lot of people get that confused when we say that on this channel, oh, it's a lot of self promotion. No, we're just merely trying to show y'all that we are credible to speak to everyone here for an hour or so each week because of X, Y, and Z. And that X, Y is usually certifications or, whatever it may be. So, but once you get to that point, if you're able to share testimonials, reviews, certifications, screenshots, anything that could provide reputation and credibility to a potential client, and you have successful clients, how do you get more of that? Is understanding that if you have a client that's successful, just ask, be like, hey, do you have anyone that you are willing to refer me to? And maybe I could take 5% off your next invoice or your recurring invoice or whatever it may be. Maybe I could work extra X, Y, and Z. There's an ask there where you're asking for them to refer you, which is, a pretty big deal. And for you to slash even an aggressive 50% off your next invoice, and that referral that they're going to give you is going to stay for maybe 6 months to a year, you've recouped your money, 3 or 4x times already. So always look ahead. When someone is getting good results, do not be scared to ask, hey, I saw that we were doing really well in your account. I thought this would be a great time for us to kind of just speak on if you had anyone in your circle that may be ready now or in the next 1 year, may be ready then for Google Ads. I would love to be able to schedule a call with them and go over their account and audit their account for free. No loss to them, no loss to me. This isn't anything that we need to push. I just want to be able to provide value with a free audit. So go that route. Don't be scared. Because you don't get things if you don't ask for them. So, and the last thing on my end before I assist to Ryan's segment and portion is get plugged into a community to learn as much as you can. If this is your niche, Google Ads, and this is what you love to do, there's plenty of podcasts out there like our own where you could get connected and hopefully meet someone like-minded that may be in the same boat as you or could help you out. That's how me and Ryan met elsewhere in a Facebook group. So I think it's really beneficial to also be plugged in a community to continually to learn, your craft, and in this case, Google Ads. So yeah, if there's nothing else, go ahead, Ryan. You could add on to that.
Yeah, I'll just pick up on, client referrals because that's so key. And that's something that I haven't mentioned in my show notes today, but that's a really good point. And actually, when I think about it, that's how I've gotten a few of my clients as well, is just by doing a good job. We talk all the time about the game that we're in is essentially performance marketing. We need to show results, we need to perform, and then, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But when it does work and you establish really good relationships with people, and that's what it kind of is about, it's about a relationship game as well. But if you showcase your potential and you say, well, this is what's happened in the last 3 months, 6 months, do you know of anybody else? You can ask, of course, but naturally, people may say, well, you know what? I've got this other business owner who wants to get involved in Google Ads. You've done such a great job for me. Let me refer you, and that's been the case for a few of my clients now, where I've probably had 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 other accounts just by referrals, just by people saying, Ryan's legit, he's professional, he does a really good job. It might not work for you, but give him a go and see what happens. And, that can be a really great way. So if you can get your first 1, 2, maybe 3 clients on the books and do a really good job, get all the basics right, just be professional, be transparent, be honest with people, be on point, get all the basics right. Um, People can't say a bad word about you because you'll be professional at the end of the day. And then on top of that, if you can deliver the goods, if you can show the results, then they're more inclined to refer you. So that can be a really great way of taking your business, your agency to the next level just by doing a good job. So yeah, that was a really good point by Gene there. But just before I get into my topics, I kind of want to take a bit of a break in the episode. Um, Gene and I have experienced a bit of a increase in subscribers on the channel now. You know, we kind of ended the last series below 100, and I think right now, if I just do a hard refresh, we are yeah, we're at 229 subscribers in the last couple of weeks. So I'm really pleased at that. Hello, thank you. Hello to all our new subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to the PPC Cave. We hope it's what you expected. You know, we're happy to have everyone. You know, we hope that you are learning from us, that you find our content really valuable. Um, it's almost becoming like a legitimate podcast. It's not just me and Gene talking crap anymore. It's actually like becoming a resource for people, I would like to think. Do you have any thoughts on our new
Yeah.
subscribers, Gene?
Yeah, I'm welcome. And I know Ryan was instrumental in helping us achieve this, but I want to say if there are any new subscribers or any old subscribers, what I want to, I'm feeling generous right now. If y'all want me to audit a Google Ads account and you have a Google Ads account, I'll do it for free. I'll do one subscriber. Just email us at theppccave@gmail.com. There has to be one out of the 225 that we have that would love, a Google Ads account audit. And I'll go in there. I'll just audit, give you my thoughts on, what you can improve in your account. And I'll do a little write-up. We could do a quick Zoom, and I'll do that for free just because I want to show y'all, other than just saying, I'm really happy that we are over 200 and moving towards upwards and upwards. So thank you again to the new subscribers.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. I didn't agree to this. You wait, so what? Okay. What if 200 people email us now? What's gonna happen? Maybe you should like either pull a bunny out of a hat or something, or maybe you should say, well, what's this? Like, someone has to email you with a word or something like that. If you email us at the PPC
Ooh.
Cave and say X, then we'll know that you've seen or listened to the podcast, this episode. And then the first person who does email us with this word will get the audit. I think that would work better, right?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm so too excited to do this. So I didn't even tell Ryan. But what's a good word? And the first person to email the word has that they get the free audit from me. What's a good word? You make up the word.
Me make up the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, why is it me? Um,
See, well, hold on. We're doing this because now they're getting really deep into this episode. Only a real one will
this
really,
is it.
only a real one.
This is a
Go
good
ahead.
offer. I like it. If you email us at the PPC Cave, and if you say, um, all I can think of is Boston Celtics right now, just because I
Okay.
know
Okay.
it would kind
Yeah.
of annoy you a little bit.
No, it's
So if
fine.
you email us at the PPC Cave at Gmail, so the PPC Cave, all one word, at gmail.com, and you just put in the subject or in the email Boston Celtics, the first person to do that will get a free audit from Gene. I've seen Gene's audits. People, like, no word of a lie, people pay good money for Gene's audits. He this isn't a typical like SEMrush or agency audit or anything like that. And there's no disrespect there to agencies. You do some really good audits themselves, but this is next level. This is a really good audit from Gene. And not only that, Zoom call as well. Recorded or not
Yep.
recorded? Recorded?
Yeah, we can record it. They can have it forever and ever. I just want to give back. I think we have a wealth of knowledge here, and and we're given an opportunity to be able to really connect with the audience that we're cultivating, and I think it's really important for us to do this. And yeah, email theppccave@gmail.com. First person who emails Boston Celtics will get a free audit / Zoom call that can be recorded. I'll send it over to you with a write up. First, only one though, only one website account. So yeah.
I know you're a huge Mavs fan. And to hear you say Boston Celtics, it just makes me smile, to be honest, because we won the NBA championship as well last season, which was great. But I will offer a free audit as well when we get to 500 subscribers. When we pass that mark, I will offer an in-depth Google Ads account audit as well. And again, similar to Gene, I don't want to kind of blow my own trumpet here too much, but people pay me to do audits as well. I'd like to think they're really high quality. And, same with Gene. Once we get to that 500 subscriber mark, I'll do an audit. We can jump on a call as well. I can answer any questions you've got, and we can do that. But for now, email us, theppccave@gmail.com. Boston Celtics is the word. First come, first serve. Gene will do a really good audit of your account. So, yeah, that's good because we're deep into the episode. So, good thinking there. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice one. Getting back to it then. So, how to get clients for Google Ads in the new series, how to get started as a Google Ads freelancer or agency. So, really good points by Gene. I think for me, I want to give you some short, kind of sweet answers how to get clients. Like where can you get clients from? Where can you start, getting your hands dirty and finding people who may be interested in running Google Ads. So number one, you could always look to, so if you're a freelancer and you want to get some more clients, you could look to white label. You could look to partner with other agencies, in the area near you if you wanted to. You could arrange a conversation, a phone call, or go in, have a coffee date with someone, and say, look, I have capacity. I don't know where you guys are at. I'm happy to give you a kickback for every client you refer to me so that the agency is still getting the money, but you're also getting a client. Or it could just be, look, you guys are busy. Let me take a couple of clients off your hands. I'll do it for free. You keep the retainer. And then all of a sudden, you fast tracked your way to getting one or two, maybe three clients. You're working towards what Gene talked about, getting that review, getting that proof of work as well, those results. And then from there, you can springboard. So white labeling, partner with an agency could be really good. Also, look at YouTube. This is partly what we're doing. We want to kind of help other people learn about Google Ads. But the thing is that a lot of business owners don't have time to know or learn or even care about Google Ads. They just want somebody else to do it so that they can focus on offering new services, pricing strategies, promotions, staffing, hiring and firing, sourcing new products. There's so many things that a business owner needs to do rather than actually sit down and try and figure out Google Ads and which keywords should we bid on and what's this bidding strategy mean. They may just think, well, let's just outsource it. I've seen a few videos of you on YouTube. Would you be interested? So YouTube could be a really good way because you're putting yourself, you're positioning yourself as a market leader, a thought leader as well. So you get a little bit of reputable sort of like experience there as well. People think, well, he obviously speaks quite fluently about Google Ads. He has the knowledge there. So let's speak to him. Let's see if he's interested. So YouTube could be really good, or even X. I have an X.com profile. I believe Gina has as well. I'm terrible at updating mine, but there's a whole niche on X.com of Google Ads account managers, sharing results, sharing tips and tricks and strategies and, putting themselves out there to get more clients and grow their clientele, essentially. This can work too if you're an agency or if you're a freelancer. But if you're an agency, I would already suspect you have social media in the form of Facebook and X, maybe even Instagram. So again, if you can position yourselves as a bit of a market leader, then you're probably going to get some inquiries that way as well. So that could be something to look out for. And what else was I going to say? I can't remember. There was another one that I had in my head and I've completely forgotten. It was based on what Gene said, actually. But nevertheless, let me get straight into the next one and I'll let Gene chime in with some thoughts. But a good one would be cold outreach. It's hard. It is very, very hard. But if you can do it right, then potentially you could get some really good clients. So what do I mean about doing it right? Everybody just wants to send a cold email. Everybody wants to hound people, harass people. It can get too much. So you could cold call instead. Again, very difficult to do, especially if you're not confident on the phone. Consider telemarketing. Maybe reach out to a telemarketing company who can start creating funnels for you. You could pay them, say, like, or say, look, this is the situation. I'm just starting out as a freelancer, or if you're an agency, maybe you have a little bit more of a capital behind you to get started with working with a telemarketing company, and say, look, this is the situation. We want to get some clients. Can you start cold calling people, create some warm leads, have a little bit of a funnel, and then over time, they keep checking in with people to the point where you might eventually sign them. The telemarketing company gets some profits from you. You get the client on more of a retainer fee. Everyone's a winner. So that could be something, if you're not confident on the phone, maybe look at telemarketing. I considered doing it as well. But I never went through with it in the end. I didn't really have the capital when I started out, so I just took a different kind of approach. Nevertheless, that I think is a good strategy. And when if you want to do the cold email sort of route, as we say in the UK, route in America, if you want to do the cold email route, um, then what I would suggest is don't just say, "Hey, I'm Gene," or "I'm Ryan. I offer Google Ads management services. Email me if you're interested." You could do, but how many people are getting that email on a regular basis? Probably everyone. So it's probably going to go straight to the bin, the junk, the trash. Instead, what I would do is, why not create a SEMrush report, or create a 5-page audit or review. Okay, I've seen your ad copy online. This is what you could do to improve. I searched for these keywords. You were position 4 each time or something, or bottom of the page. This is what I would do instead to get you at the top of the page. I've seen the website. Maybe you could alter a few things here, improve the landing page that I landed on. And I wouldn't click on the ad. If you're a freelancer, if you're an agency, don't click on their ads, save them money. And you could even mention that in the email. I didn't click on any of your ads because I didn't want you to waste any money. I typed in the landing page manually, and I saw this on the landing page. This is what I would do instead. You could even do like a little bit of a draw up, like a bit of a rendition of what you think it should look like to generate more conversions. And do that and present that to them, and go one step further. You could record something through Zoom. You could record a 5-minute video through Loom, maybe, or you could jump on a free trial of something like a screen share software. And, as a freelancer, this is great because so far all of this is pretty much free. Maybe not SEMrush, that might be more for agencies, but manually doing it, identifying certain businesses, whether it's local, national, whatever it might be, and then actually going out and saying, look, this is what I found, and then recording a video saying, hi guys, I'm Ryan, I'm a freelancer, I do Google ads for e-commerce, for lead generation, and this is what I found when I was searching for your business. This is the ad copy, this is the keywords that I searched for, this is the landing page, this, that, and the other. This is how I would do it to try and get you, top of the page, increase conversion rates, things like that, to get you noticed on the search engine results page as well, to increase better ad copy and clicks and things like that. You could present that in a video. It's like a mini presentation, and all of this is free. And then you can email that and you say, hey, Bob, saw the website. I recorded this video for you. Please just give it a watch. And, thanks, Ryan, or whatever it might be. And what's good about software such as Loom is you can see when somebody has viewed the video. So you can see if they viewed it or not. And if they have, then you're onto a winner potentially, especially if you're offering free management, say 30, 60, 90 days. If you say, look, we can do all this, give me 30 days of your time, I'll do it for free. If after then you see the value in what we're doing, maybe we could do it at, say, $300 or £300 per month. Because at that point, you'll have brought him some conversions, hopefully, some good leads, some good sales. And then you're in a better position because you have leverage to say, okay, now pay me, essentially. So that's what I would do. Gene, any thoughts on white label with partnering with agencies? Any thoughts on YouTube and X.com? Any thoughts on cold outreach, whether it's cold calling or emailing?
Yeah, yeah, I thought that white label with partner agencies is really good. Something that I didn't think about. Um, but with the cold outreach, I think that's also good. For me, what I've done in the past is I've gone on social media like Quora or Reddit or even LinkedIn,
Really good.
and if there's any question that relates to Google Ads that the answer, provide that as value. And perhaps there's a back and forth on Reddit. I know Reddit is a great collaborative effort where people are just trying to know more and understand more things. And I remember posting a problem that I had on a specific website, and I couldn't figure it out on Reddit. And someone from Reddit answered. And even though I didn't need their services at that same time, if I was to ever go back again and need the same type of problem solved, I know where to find my resource. So I think outreach definitely has its place when you're trying to get more clients for Google Ads. So yeah,
That's a really good way of, again, putting yourself in a position as a market leader. If you can answer questions on, how do you say, Quora?
Quora.
Quora, Quora,
Yeah.
Quora, or Reddit, then you can really position yourself as like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. So, but again, it's the same with a lot of other channels. It can become quite saturated. You know, it's like so many people like. Uh, how would you say, like 10 homeless people fighting over a bag of chips or something like that, right? So that's that's how it could be, with places like Reddit, with places like Quora, maybe even freelance. I mean, freelancing sites is the same as well. We talk about Fiverr, we talk about Upwork. It becomes very saturated very quickly because we're all fighting for the same piece of pie, the same business. I'm thinking I'm hungry because I've mentioned chips and pie in the same sentence. So I need to go and eat. Anyway, getting back to it, what I would also maybe advise is niching down and saying, okay, well, I'm not, like a Google Ads account manager to everyone and anyone. I just focus on electricians. I just focus on plumbers. I just focus on, like fashion stores or homeware stores, or, I'm in the pet niche and I just focus on like pest control services, but also, like dog toys and cat like baskets or whatever it might be. So you could niche down and you could create an online community, something like on Facebook, something like on LinkedIn. You could create a group on either of those platforms and then all of a sudden start inviting people in, people that you think are a good fit. Where you find these people, you could look at small businesses on like Facebook and start adding people or inviting people into your group. Um, this is the thing, and this is what I was going to say before, actually, which I actually forgot. It's more so about networking and building relationships than anything else. The money is great. It's great to have the money that comes along with being a Google Ads account manager, whether that's freelance or agency. But if you build good relationships, I think that's almost as important, if not more important, than the money side of it. Because let's just imagine if you lost all of your clients tomorrow, or if you had a really bad downturn in business, you could look towards people that you've spoken to in the past. I could reach out to Gene and say, look, I'm having a really bad month, or it's been 3 really bad months. Can you help me? And Gene would say, I would like to think Gene would say, yeah, I can help you. I'll refer you. I will help you get back to where you need to be. What do we need to do to get you there? And I would do the same for Gene. If Gene reached out to me and said, look, things have not been going well. Can you help me? I would say, look, I've got a great client for you. I'm going to pass it over to you. It might be one of my own clients. If Gene's in a time of need, I would more than happily give Gene one or two clients, to kind of get him up and running again, and get him to steady the ship a little bit, because that's what you do. And I'm confident that Gene's a high quality Google Ads account manager, so I would have no qualms in referring him to anyone at the end of the day, and I do that anyway. But this is the thing. This is where networking, this is where relationships come into play. Because if you convey yourself as being professional, if you convey yourself as delivering high quality work and value, then I think you can recover quite quick. You can get more clients, you can get more business. So focus on building relationships, building network. And if you do the I always say if you do the basics right, you're gonna have some good relationships and good traction. So that's something to look out for. So coming back to it then, building a community, inviting people into a Facebook group, into a LinkedIn group, showcasing your potential, giving like lead magnets here and there. So it could be download my free PDF guide on how to write ad copy, or I'm going to be doing a seminar or a talk on, the best keywords to target for this niche or something like that. And then you invite people. You could even ask people to pay, I guess, like a $1 or a £1 entry fee if you wanted to. And then all of a sudden you're making money on that. You've got people engaged in your community watching your video, your talk about the best keywords to use in this niche that are proven. And you can do that, and then they could share it with other people. Look at this video this guy recorded. Get inside the group. He speaks about plumbers all the time, or he's great with like electricians. This is what he focuses on. Dave is interested, so let's invite Dave in. And all of a sudden, you're building your own community where you may have like 50 to 100 to 500 people in that community that could all become clients of yours. So you could consider that. And the same with LinkedIn. In fact, I'll give you a little LinkedIn story, which is this is pretty much how I got started back in the day. I was using an automated software called Duck Soup. I don't know if you've heard of it, Gene, but it's basically where you can set this thing up to run and it will go through and or send a connection request to so many people on LinkedIn. And you can just kind of set it up and it'll just kind of go and connect with loads of people. I think you used to get like a 50 to 100 profiles a day or something like that. So that's how I got started, trying to add all these people and then like cold outreach, send them a message. Great to connect. Some people would email me, some people would message me back, which was great. And we'd have a little conversation. I met some really nice people doing that actually, and it never really went anywhere. Some people would ignore me. Some people I'd get on a phone call and then I would have like a whole 1 hour phone conversation trying to sell them Google Ads and like, oh, so you're interested in Google Ads, what are the goals that you want to achieve, and this, that, and the other. And I felt so uncomfortable doing it. I think I signed two clients from that in the finance niche, which was already going to be a tough challenge because the finance niche very competitive, very cutthroat, very expensive. It didn't work out with either of them, unfortunately, and I believe I actually refunded both of them in the end, the two clients that I did sign, and tried something else. But LinkedIn, I don't touch it anymore. I think I exhausted it after I did it. I was just like, I don't want to be on LinkedIn anymore. So maybe you could still look at doing something like that, but I think it's a very tough ask. I think a lot of people are already doing that. As a freelancer, probably not, but as an agency, if you have a bit more traction, a bit more results, reviews, testimonials behind you, that could be a really good game changer for you if you were to do some cold outreach on LinkedIn. We're an award-winning agency. These are the list of clients that we've worked with. This is the results we've got. We think we'd be a good fit to help you going forward. So that could be something to look to do. Before I get onto the last couple, Gene, any thoughts about creating an online community or LinkedIn?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think what you said earlier with just making sure that you have, you're building your own community and your own network. I think that's, man, that's so important. And when you're becoming, or on your way to doing Google Ads, and getting more clients with Google Ads, you're gonna need people to specialize in things that you may not specialize in, perhaps a website, coding, back end, front end development, maybe even email marketing, and the whole digital marketing stack from social media, even more adjacent to what we do, like meta ads. And if you don't do meta ads, I think it's really important for you to befriend people who do, or befriend people on LinkedIn that are developers or that run social media. Because as Ryan said, if you have a specific network that you can say, hey, like I don't do meta ads or I don't do web development, but go to this guy, he's, the person, or they are the person that I trust. Well, they'll be able to be more inclined to send you Google Ads people that perhaps need their own clients that they are looking to expand to Google Ads, maybe clients that are just doing website development but are ready to have more traffic. So I think, just to piggyback off that idea that Ryan had, I think it's really super important and wonderful to have that local network for sure.
That's great. Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't even think of that, but that again is somehow I got some of my clients historically, partnering with a web developer who has no idea about the black box of Google Ads. He just wanted to pass that client through to someone who seemed competent, who knew that, they got the right feeling. And I was lucky enough to get a few clients that way. So yeah, definitely would advise partnering with developers as a freelancer. Again, that could be a really good in for you. Also, other SEO account managers, social media marketing managers, even maybe email marketing people too. So, yeah, definitely would recommend that. Okay, a couple of others, and then I'm going to wrap up. For me, local outreach could also be quite good, especially if you're an agency. One of the agencies I used to work at had a lot of local clients on the books. And when you think about it, it is a little bit old school, a bit door knocking, giving out leaflets, going and trying to call people around the local area, arrange meetings and things like that. But because you're in their area, you have an advantage. They can meet up with you for a coffee, they can have a face-to-face meeting. Maybe this was a little bit more valuable pre 2020. Obviously, after that, a lot of people have opened up to the idea of remote working and working with people in different countries and things like that, which is absolutely fine. But still, I think there is some value to be had with partnering with an agency or even a freelancer who is right down the road from you. In fact, a few months ago, I actually went on a meeting with my one of my first ever clients, and it was great to finally actually meet him in person and go and see the product face to face and meet him, and it was fantastic. So I really enjoyed that. I used to I didn't mind meetings back in the day. I just a lot of the time I think people have meetings for meeting's sake and nothing ever really gets done. But for that one, because it was my own client, because I'd worked with him for so long, to actually meet him face to face, and there was something special about that. So there is a lot of value, there is a lot of weight to local outreach, to arrange meetings with people in your area, to do a bit of local outreach. I think that could be something, especially for agencies, that could work quite well. You could say, well, we've already worked with this guy in this area. We've already worked with this guy who's in the area as well. What do you say? We've award winning. You don't even have to be award winning, but it could be that we've got these results. They're in these areas. Let's have a chat. Let's have a coffee. Most of the time, people are going to hear you out at least, especially if it's face to face. And then you can kind of sell them there and then and go away and you can think about it. Or you could even give them a hook. If you're an agency, we'll say, well, look, let's do, the first 30 days for free, or let's do it at a reduced rate. Let's just see how we get on. If you like what we do, we can continue. So there's always that option. If you're a freelancer, the same kind of thing applies, but I really like direct mail. I think that's a really underused and maybe underrated way of getting clients. So sending out letters, old school letters. I did this. I sent out so many letters to people. I think it was plumbers, electricians, tree surgeons in the local area. I actually heard back from one, a tree surgeon. I worked with him for a little bit, but we didn't really see the results. So we kind of shook hands and walked away. but it can work, and I'm proof of the pudding that it has worked. So send out letters, just kind of get people's attention. It doesn't have to be a long letter. It can just be like, I can help you, you know get the leads you need, or something like that. Just something that's quick, that's striking, that can really convey value quite quickly. Even leaflets, something like that. With a leaflet, you can say who you are a little bit, you can give some results, maybe some reviews at that point, who knows. But definitely look to do some direct mail in the local area, especially if you're just starting out as a freelancer. Look to use friends and family. They might be a little bit reluctant, but first and foremost, go to who you know. Go in your local area. Even like post like little like post-its on like chalkboards or whatever, like corkboards, and put your little business card if you have one, or whatever it might be. You never know who's going to be in there, right place, right time, and you get the call, you get the email, whatever it might be. But definitely direct mail could be something to look at in terms of getting some local clients. That's me done. Gene, any thoughts?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I think there's a lot of it's almost like inbound versus outbound, and you
Yeah.
need both. You absolutely need both to be able to succeed, just because you don't know where you're going to get the leads. If it's inbound, where you have clients potentially looking at your IG or your website, they might be more tech savvy and are ready and primed. Or if it's outbound, they might not be on the internet but still need that value from you to be their Google Ads manager. So you can't say one or the other is the way, especially when you haven't established a pattern yet. So I definitely agree that both ends need to be examined first. So yeah, no, it's good.
So let's just imagine then, for both of us, we lose all our clients. Someone takes all our clients away from us, and everything, and we have to start from scratch, day one, and we don't have any money or anything. We don't have any network or connections. What would you do? Again, I mean, you mentioned that you would work for free. Would you still create an Instagram account where which you could post to? Like, what would that look like for you?
I would probably create the so I would probably create a TikTok. I would probably create a TikTok in this day and age. Instagram back then, just because I started in like 2014 and it was a while back. But in this day and age, 2024, I would start with TikTok, and I would just not spam, but I would just really be on other Google Ads, freelancers, TikToks, commenting, engaging, making sure I'm contributing in their comments something valuable that is related to whatever the video or the short or the TikTok is. And perhaps there, I could get more traction. What about you?
That's cool. Yeah, I was thinking as well while you were speaking, and I'm thinking I was really close to with the telemarketing stuff and actually working with that, because I feel like they can do a lot of the legwork
Mhm.
before handing it over. So that could be something. But yeah, I like the idea of Instagram, TikTok. Everything's very visual these days. Everything's really snappy and quick. So that could work quite well. Maybe YouTube. That could be something to look at as well. If you have the confidence, if you have the right setup, that could be good. For me, I don't know. It's so tricky. I like the idea of working free. I think that's probably where I'd go to. Is I would definitely offer free management if I was starting again. Um, Hands down, definitely offer free management, maybe for 3 months, just to give me a little bit of an edge above everyone else. And how I would do it, yeah, I like TikTok. I think maybe TikTok could work quite well. X.com, I'd probably focus on like X, formerly Twitter, and really build that up and put a lot of my time and energy into that. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'd say I'd work for free and I'd do X.com or TikTok.
Yeah, I think that's fair play. And to kind of like wrap it up, it's really important for us to do this series, and I think it's a good way for us to give back alongside what we do with specific Google Ads optimization and management. But this time it's more so management, and outside of the Google Ads platform. And you can extrapolate any of this information not only to the niche for Google Ads, but in any digital marketing, in my opinion, any digital marketing niche, if it's email marketing, social media, SEO, I think a lot of it is very similar. If you want to go that route to being able to get independent clients that you can work with on the side. So, yeah, anything else, Ryan, before we wrap it up?
No, I think this is going to be a really good series. I'm really excited to get stuck in with this one. I think next week we're going to be talking about. I'm just looking here, probably how much to charge. We talked today about offering free management if you're just starting out. Probably the next step would be what's a reasonable amount to like charge as a management fee. A lot of people have questions over, is it a percentage? Is it a fixed fee? Do you offer like a setup fee before you get into it? There's so many questions from freelancers, from agencies about the structure of, payments and retainers and things like that. So next week we're going to talk about that. We're going to get stuck into that. But otherwise, I'm happy for you to sign us off, and we'll speak to everyone next week.
Yeah, and so like Ryan said, this will continue on next week, our new series of how to get started as a Google Ads freelancer or agency. And always remember that for every Monday, we release on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. YouTube and Spotify both have our lovely faces, so you could definitely tune in and check us out there. And again, if you want a specific detailed consult slash audit, message or email Boston Celtics to the ppccave at gmail.com. You could find me on genevillanos.com and anywhere else on social media at Gene Villanos. And Ryan, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me at ryanfentonppc.co.uk. I am also on x.com, but I think I stopped promoting my like Twitter X profile probably like 5 episodes back because I never update it really. But I am on there if you want to try and reach out to me. Otherwise, I'm pretty up to date with email. So the ppc cave at gmail.com, but also, yeah, reach out to us on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. I manage the socials. Gene does the editing of the episodes. We've got a really good relationship in that aspect. So, yeah.
Sounds good. And if there's nothing else, we'll talk to y'all next time. Bye for now.